morning, foodies. I am currently driving to work, and I've thought about making a video like this before, but for some reason I just thought about I'm gonna go ahead and I think make it today, or at least maybe over a period of time. As many of you know, and some of my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing, may not know, I suffer from anxiety, and it can be pretty tough at times. So what I wanted to share with you, and this isn't for sympathy or anything like that, this is just so maybe if you have someone in your life that's like me, maybe it'll give you a little bit better understanding and help you be more compassionate towards that person in your life who needs it. But some days, like today, you just wake up with this almost dread, and you don't know why. And today not so much, but sometimes you wake up with like heart palpitations, your heart starts racing. For me today, it's more the harder to breathe, swallowing kind of hard, you know, like when you're in an anxious situation, you're trying to talk or whatever, your mouth goes dry and you're trying to swallow and it's like a hard swallow, and you feel nauseous, and you think of a million excuses to cancel whatever event you're going to. For me, it happens to be work. What can I say so I don't have to go? None of it being truthful, because I could say that, you know, I got food poisoning. I could say, you know, I'm just sick. I could say I have a flat tire, my battery's not working in my car. Anything but what's actually going on. Because as supportive as some people, places, and bosses can be, you don't always want to have to tell them exactly what's going on, and sometimes it just doesn't matter to some people what you're going through, because they can be selfish and just think that, you know, you're ruining their day, when in fact, you know, a lot of your days are just ruined just being around, you know. And yes, I think about things like that from both perspectives, my perspective and from theirs, but in the moment, quite honestly, mine's the only one that really matters. I'm hoping by the time I get there and get into the swing of things that this feeling will go away, because feeling like this for the next 10 hours is really draining. And there's usually not a whole lot someone can do to kind of just snap you out of it, because if there was, you would do it yourself. You know, why would you purposely put yourself in this situation, purposely make yourself feel this way? You wouldn't. You do whatever you can to snap out of it. Every morning I say how grateful I am for the things that I have, and I am truly grateful, but sometimes this feeling just overcomes, and it doesn't matter how grateful you are, you can't always control all the emotions that are going to come along. So you just do the best you can. And yes, I have a very supportive husband who, if I would have woken up and told him how I was feeling, he probably would have hugged me and talked to me, and then everything that I was feeling at that moment would have come out. And unfortunately, it may have caused a panic attack, because I would have released all my emotions instead of keeping them at bay like I'm trying to right now. And I know that bad to come out, and that can cause an anxiety attack, a panic attack, whatever. So for me, at least today, it's better to just kind of keep it to myself and see if I can manage it myself at this moment, because I need to keep it together to go to work for 10 hours. Now, if I felt like this and it was just a social engagement and not like a super important once in a lifetime, wedding or something, just, like a hangout with friends, I would cancel if I felt like this, like 100% sure. And it'd be easy, because I could just send a text message and say, can't make it, sorry, love you, next time, whatever. I'm just grateful that most of the people that are close to me, I think at least now, understand maybe why I would cancel often years ago. At least I hope they do. But even so, they stuck around and, still invited me to do things, even though they knew I probably was going to say no. Like last night, we went to our friend's house, and my husband actually went over before me for a few hours to help out with some stuff, and I stayed home, and he picked me up later. I would have been perfectly content staying home all day. It wouldn't have bothered me. I wouldn't have felt like I was missing out or anything like that. I probably would have, been happier to just sit at home and watch TV or whatever in the safety of my own home. So ideally, I'd like to film a couple of these just to show you some highs and some lows, and hopefully this will give you a better understanding of people with anxiety, with depression, how they can't just snap out of it, how they can't just, put on a happy face and deal with it, because we do that a lot, and you probably have no idea how often we just put on a happy face and deal with it, when inside it's like a war's going on. You're just fighting on the inside to not just totally let it all go, trying to keep it together to save face so no one else around you has to worry about you. And again, I can feel it coming through the screen. I'm not asking for sympathy or any of that. This is all for your understanding. This doesn't really have anything to do with me. I just want people treated better who are like me. I want their friends and family and employers to understand that they don't have control over this. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you deal with, how you deal with it. They're not you, and you're not them, so you have absolutely no idea what they're going through. So you telling them that you have kids and you got no sleep and you had to take care of this and that and 5 million other things, well, I'm happy that you're Superman or Superwoman. That's fantastic. But that's not me. That's you. We're two completely different people. Just because you can handle all that crap has nothing to do with me. Doesn't mean I can. People like me would not purposely put themselves in situations where they had to deal with all of that. I mean, ideally, I try to lessen my stress. I don't try to add to it, and I don't try to portray myself to everybody as a superhero and tell them all the things that I had to deal with just to make them, I don't know, give me sympathy or make me look better to them or whatever. At least I try not to. I mean, maybe I do complain, but my intent is not to draw sympathy from you, or I don't know, make you feel less than because I did more that day or whatever. So totally rambling now. It's a lot longer than I anticipated it being, so maybe it'll get edited down, I don't know. But like I said, I'm hoping to do a few of these little clips and smush it together to maybe show you the highs and the lows of what it feels like to have anxiety on a daily basis. So thanks for listening to this part. Okay, so hopefully I can get through this because I gotta walk into work here in just a few minutes. So mornings like this are kind of tough because you feel like I can't even think right now. I can't even focus. I feel maybe I can't make this right now. I kind of feel like sorry for Justin. Like, I don't know how he manages to deal with me. Or are some of these feelings I'm having real, or am I just being selfish? Like I can't focus today. I gotta walk into work in 4 minutes, so I probably is just gonna stop this because I need to be okay to work today. I don't want to be embarrassed again. Gotta be able to handle my shit. Okay, yeah, I can't record anymore. Good morning, guys. I'm on my way to work again. It's the only time that I think to record for some reason. Drive and talk, I guess, works. So I was just thinking this morning that once I realized that I had anxiety, like it was more clear as to what it actually was, it kind of gave me like permission to acknowledge it to myself and to other people, and like, how do I explain it, like to let it be okay that I had it, I guess. You know, I don't think anybody who has this is ever okay with having it, but I think it felt better to finally realize what it was and how to work towards being able to cope with it. Because again, this isn't something you just fix. So this is something you learn to deal with. And I think you can get to the point where it's pretty much gonna be gone because you learned techniques and you were able to change your mind and your mindset and everything. I don't know, who knows, maybe one day it will be completely gone, but I just have a feeling that it'll always be there, but I'll be able to learn how to deal with it better. I'm trying to figure out the point of this video. It was to say that, but I don't know, I had some other thoughts in my head, and then I got in some traffic and it kind of started to go away. So I wanted to at least record that first little part. So I kind of feel like now that I know what this is, now that I have acknowledged what this is, now that I have shared it with other people, I feel like it's a whole new journey. It's gonna be, I can't just all of a sudden go, oh, I know what it is and I know how to fix it. No, I have to learn how to be me with anxiety, but not let it take over my life. Like, I could totally feed the anxiety monster, become a hermit, and never want to do anything again, which is not what I want to do. Or I can acknowledge that I have it, know that I need to do something to cope with it, and keep living my life, and that's what I'm doing. But it's kind of nice to know that I'm not alone in this, and hearing other people's stories and stuff, realizing why throughout my life, this isn't like something I just all of a sudden caught like a cold, why I have, accepted invitations, got excited to go places, and then the last minute canceled. And I would do that a lot. And now I kind of understand more why, because it would cause like anxiety in me, and then once I canceled, I would get like a relief, knowing that I didn't have to be wherever I was going to be at and perform or whatever. Because sometimes just being in the presence of another person, even if they're someone you completely trust, can be exhausting, especially if they don't understand, and if you don't understand who you are and what's going on. It can just be exhausting to just be there and exist sometimes. And I know people with anxiety will understand that, other people may not quite understand that. So that's why sometimes even like for get-togethers and stuff like that, I like to establish ahead of time what time I'll be leaving, or like me and Justin will be leaving somewhere, because for me, having the end point helps. It gives me like, I can get my mindset knowing that I only have to do this one thing for a couple of hours, and then once the time is set for us to leave, we can just leave and I have my escape. But when there's no set time, I'm constantly thinking of, how can I get out of this? How can I go home? What can I say? What can I do? When is this going to be over? Your brain never shuts off, like never. It never shuts off, and it really sucks sometimes. So again, if I'm ever hanging out with you, and I might tell you at the beginning of our day together, hey, yeah, I gotta get going by 3:30 or whatever. It's just a way for me to know that it's that uncomfortable. It may not necessarily be uncomfortable, but in my mind, that uncomfortable situation is going to be over by 3:30, so I can go in my head, okay, from noon to 3:30, this is what I got to do. And then it's like, once 3:30 hits, it's like, the button goes off, and I'm like, oh, I told you I got to go, and it gives me my reason, my out, Obviously, there's some stuff you can't do that with, like doctor's appointments or whatever. You can't say, okay, doctor, you told me my appointment was at 1, so you got to make sure you're in the room right at 1 o'clock so I can leave like right at 1:30, But social situations I have more control over, and I'm going to keep control over them so I feel better. So in those situations, honestly, it is all about me. I know there's sometimes where you gotta do stuff and it's not about you, and you gotta just suck it up for some days, but the days that I don't gotta suck it up, it's a little bit nicer. Now, I don't always feel like that every time I go someplace. I don't know if it just depends on how comfortable I am with the person, or maybe the situation, or maybe I just happen to be in a like fantastically awesome mood that day, because seriously, each day is different. It'd be nice to wake up in like the same mindset every day, wake up happy every day, or wake up normal every day, but that's just not how it is. So yeah, each day's different. I'm sure each day is different for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but I think people with anxiety and depression, like, you go to bed with one mindset and then you wake up with a different mindset, like, every day. I don't know how else to explain it. And then I dream like crazy. I I dream throughout the night. So sometimes that causes me not to sleep well. And that can change my mindset for sure, depending on what I dream about. And lately I've been having like stress dreams again. I had gotten rid of those for a little while, and then they came back. They're not nearly as severe as they used to be, which is great, because I was for a little while, I was having not just stress dreams, I was actually having nightmares, which, you know, can totally mess up your day. And my dreams aren't those like weird cartoony dreams or anything. Mine are pretty realistic. So sometimes you can wake up and go, wait, did that actually happen? Or did I actually just dream that? And I guess my mind's pretty literal. I don't have like too many extraordinary things happen in my dream. I have things that happen in my dreams that could actually happen in real life. And sometimes I'll be going through my day going, wait a second, I didn't talk to that person about that. I dreamt about that. And then I'll remember the dream, you know, in that moment. So, well, this video just kind of went all over the place, didn't it? I guess that's okay. I guess that kind of shows you how my mind goes too. Like my mind is like constantly on alert and constantly thinking and worrying and analyzing. And yeah, I guess that's a good point too, is I constantly, whether I need to or not, analyze situations and things like that. So like, I'm not a supervisor at my job anymore. I stopped that over a year ago, but when I see things happening, I think of how I would have taken care of the situation, and I'm like, wait a second, that has nothing to do with me. That's not my job. You know, I just need to focus on what my job is and not worry about what someone else's job is. And when I do that, that tends to help a little bit, kind of like I can relax just a little bit and not feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. But then sometimes I still get worked up going, wow, that could have been taken care of differently, or wow, you know, this could have been done better, or whatever the case might have been. So, you know, not everybody does things the same way. So I have to remember that too. I think that's in life. That's a control thing. I think maybe I like being in control of all parts of life, because maybe it makes me feel better. If I'm in control, I know what's going to happen. And I think that's kind of like in my mind, maybe it's always been a coping thing. Like, if I'm in control of the situation of what's going on at work, or, you know, at a specific situation, maybe it'll make me feel better. Because when I let someone else do it, even though in the end everything works out totally fine, the whole time it's going on, I think I feel anxious, like, what's going to happen? Is it going to work out? Is everything going to be okay? Seriously, your mind races like that. It's ridiculous. Yes, I do have peaceful, calm moments. And in those peaceful, calm moments, my mind is still racing, but it's more about peaceful, calm stuff, I guess. So I guess that's a good thing. I just need to have more of those moments. You guys can let me know in the comments below, because I think I should publish this video soon so it doesn't get long and stupid. I'm kind of enjoying video diarying and video diaries, so I guess it's kind of like more like vlogging, but to me vlogging is more like, you know, here's a day in my life, this is what I'm doing, this is what where we're going, things like that. I would call this more like a video diary, so I might start doing video diary style things, I guess call it vlogging, of like what's going on in my head or what my thoughts are. And I know that's not really vegan related or like cooking or anything like that, but it'll probably be more geared towards like my anxiety and just my thoughts, and my thoughts may not be towards like a vegan subject, it might just be my thoughts for that day. So if any of that sounds interesting, y'all just leave it in the comments below and let me know. I might do it anyways if it makes me feel better, and the videos would be clearly marked, so if you didn't want to watch them, you wouldn't have to. But you could kind of see like what goes on inside my brain, I guess, sometimes. And because I know for some people, just like whatever they're going through, if you just get it out, write it down, say it out loud, it makes you feel better. I know I used to journal a lot, and I don't journal quite as much, so I'm thinking maybe if I do this video diary type of thing, maybe it might help too. So I might start putting more of these style of videos out. I haven't decided yet. But again, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. I think this is going to be the last video on my little anxiety thing, just so it doesn't get too awfully long, because this part that I'm talking right now is already almost 14 minutes, and then I have three other clips to put together. So guys, just let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed this style of vlogging. Also, let me know what you got out of this whole anxiety video. If you have anybody with anxiety, or you know someone who is with someone who has anxiety, please share this video with them. Maybe it'll help them realize that they're not alone, and that there's other people out there that suffer too, and that it's okay and all that good stuff. And if you ever want to chit chat about any of this type of stuff too, again, you can contact me at fruityfoodieamy@gmail.com or fruityfoodieamy on Instagram, and you can direct message me there. So, all right guys, thank you so much for listening to me, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.